It's February 15th. Here's what's happening right now.
A standoff ends in tragedy when a gunman shoots two men helping their sister move out of an ex-boyfriend's home. This morning, we hear from family and friends.
Business returns to the old market this Valentine's Day after weeks of restricted roads.
And a political fight begins just days after a Supreme Court justice dies. I'm David Earl with the latest on the death of Antonin Scalia.
Live from 7 Burlington Station, this is Omaha's news leader, KETV News Watch 7 First News.
Happy Monday on President's Day at 6 a.m. I'm John O'Keefe.
And I'm Alex Hoffman. Meteorologist Matt Suri is here with your forecast.
I thought you were saying I'm president, and I was like, wait, what?
You didn't hear the announcements?
Right?
I am president of First News.
There you go.
Oh, man. Well, outside this one, we had a few snow showers move across the area early this morning. Take a look at Super Doppler 7 radar. And now the check of traffic to go. We're joined by Lauren Robinson. Lauren, you drove across most of the metro early this morning.
Yes, I did see wet, slippery roads, especially the further east that I came. West really wasn't so bad. So hopefully all of those other areas begin to dry pretty quickly. Now we'll have more details on that just ahead. That's a look at your traffic to go. I'm Lauren Robinson.
Lauren, thanks. Well, trying to keep his sister safe, John Edwards died on his 35th birthday on Friday.
He and his brother Jason tried to help their sister move out of an ex-boyfriend's home, but never made it out alive. 45-year-old
Kenneth Clark shot them both in a 12-hour-long standoff and later took his own life. KETV News Watch 7's Devontae McKenneth is live. Devontae?
And Alex, family and friends say it's an eerie feeling as the home where 2 lives were taken Friday is now boarded up this morning. A man taking out his rage after 2 brothers tried to help their sister escape. Yesterday, friends and family gathered for a prayer walk, looking for peace within each other. Many say the 2 men were outstanding role models, good parents and good community members. Some say Jason and John didn't have to die like this, adding anger prevails when news like this breaks.
There is not a reason in this world why these men had to die. John and Jason should not have died. And I get angry when I see somebody die like this.
You just hope it doesn't, you hope it doesn't happen, period, but then you hope it doesn't happen to people that you're close with, and when it happens, it just changes everything.
Funerals and visitations are set to begin tomorrow at St. Columkill Catholic Church over in Papillion. Alex.
All right, Devontae, thank you. And new this morning, a person injured by gunfire walks into the emergency room at Nebraska Medicine. Dispatchers confirm it happened shortly before 3 o'clock. At last check, police were still checking out several scenes where the victim may have been shot but have not identified the location. It is unknown how the victim is doing now.
Omaha police also looking for a teen suspected killing a young woman after crashing into her car last month. Investigators say Eswin Mejia posted bond, then vanished. Police believe Mejia was drunk driving the morning of January 31st when he slammed into Sarah Root's car at 33rd and L. 21-year-old had just graduated from Bellevue University. At our vigil last Sunday, her family told us they were frustrated. Mejia was allowed to get out of jail for $5,000, part of a bond. Mejia is supposed to be a part of a sobriety program, which investigators say he failed to do. Now, police want you to call Crime Stoppers if you know where he might be. You could get a cash reward.
Well, right now, the body of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia is heading home. The 79-year-old member of the nation's highest court died over the weekend at a ranch in West Texas. Now, political fault lines have opened over who should replace the conservative judge. KETV News Watch 7's David Earl has the latest.
Yeah, Alex, Republicans don't want the president to have a say, and this is getting all kinds of attention on the campaign trail. The president, of course, has the constitutional authority to name people to the Supreme Court, and President Obama still has almost a full year left in office.
I plan to fulfill my constitutional responsibilities to nominate a successor in due time.
But that plan will face fierce opposition from Republicans in the Senate who have to confirm Obama's pick for the Supreme Court. In fact, 2 of those senators who are also running for Obama's job say they will block any nomination until after the next president is elected.
The president can nominate whoever he wants, but the Senate's not going to act, and that's pretty clear.
We will see unlimited abortion on demand throughout this country. Partial birth abortion, taxpayer funding, no parental notification.
So, who could get the nomination? Lots of speculation surrounding this federal judge in D.C., Sri Srinivasan. He's an Obama nominee, and a Republican Senate confirmed him 97-0. Even for federal judgeships, a unanimous confirmation like that is rare. That could make him an attractive choice to fill Scalia's seat. Alex, back to you.
Okay, David, thank you. And in Commitment 2016 coverage, new poll numbers reveal Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton leading the pack in South Carolina. According to the new CBS poll, Trump leads Ted Cruz by more than 20 points. Marco Rubio in third place with 15%. As for the Democrats, Clinton leads Bernie Sanders by 19 points in the Palmetto State. South Carolina's primary is less than a week away. And the Nebraska Democratic Caucus is still a few weeks away. The former Secretary of State's daughter is coming to Omaha, campaigning for Hillary Clinton this week. Chelsea Clinton will speak this Wednesday in West Omaha at the Four Sisters Boutique. That is happening at 4 p.m.
Well, she was a voice in our community for decades and a key figure in Omaha's civil rights movement. Dr. Margarita Washington died this weekend at age 80. Washington took over the Omaha Star newspaper as publisher in 1989. This after the death of her aunt, Mildred D. Brown, who founded that paper in 1938. We spoke with Dr. Washington just over a year ago at a showing of the civil rights movie Selma. We were there on December 1st as leaders declared the day as Dr. Margarita Washington Day. We'll bring you details about funeral arrangements as soon as we find out. Well, it's President's Day. That means no school for some. Some school districts do have school and no mail. Now, most banks are closed along with all courts and Wall Street. In recognition of the federal holiday, Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts released a statement saying, quote, "The work and dedication of these presidents to the principles of freedom and equality have shaped the direction of our country's history and is key to understanding who we are as Americans today."
Well, Valentine's Day brought a much-needed boost to Omaha's Old Market. The past 5 weeks have been hard for businesses on 11th and Howard. Storefront access restricted by fences, but this weekend, just in time for the granddaddy of all date nights, the intersection reopened. Omaha Prime just across the street from the former M's Pub, and Sunday they saw the busiest night of the last month.
It's fun watching people fight for parking. I think that's pretty cool. Before that, there was no cars to fight for parking.
Now, part of 11th Street is still blocked off and right in front of Omaha Prime, but they are seeing more foot traffic, and to them, that is a sign of promise. 6:08 now, a 3-alarm fire in New York City sends more than 140 firefighters to battle the blaze.
That's coming up. Plus, skiers in New Hampshire had to be rescued after their tram gets stuck. That's a 6:13.
At 6:22, financial insiders have recession worries. Matt?
Well, our temperatures are taking off, possibly towards 60 degrees later this week. It's going to take a little bit of time. Get the details of my forecast after the break.
You're watching Omaha's news leader, KETV News Watch 7, with John Oakey, Alex Hoffman, David Earl. Your Weather Now forecast with meteorologist Matt Surwey, and Traffic to Go with Lauren Robinson, live from 7 Burlington Station. This is KETV News Watch 7 First News.
Welcome back to First News. This shot from 14th and Capitol is so good looking. I want to rewind time and make it my Valentine's Day. You can see clouds over downtown Omaha right now. A little bit of snow fell overnight. I'll show you where coming up in my full forecast.
Now, Traffic to Go with Skycams powered by Chevy.
Good morning. You're taking a live look outside at JFK from that intersection. That's your Traffic to Go. I'm Lauren Robinson.
Right now, the Pope's visit to Mexico continues. The leader of the world's Catholics taking on violence and poverty in that nation as he celebrates Mass in front of 300,000 people in one of Mexico's poorest and most dangerous cities. And he is not being shy about taking on powerful drug traffickers, calling them dealers of death. The Pope also visiting a children's hospital where he blessed sick kids. Some of those children gave the Pope drawings. Francis is taking his message of global inequality with him on this visit, especially in Mexico, where the divide between the rich and the poor is especially wide. In his sermons, he's calling on the Mexican people to make the country a land of opportunity where people don't need to leave to follow their dreams. Today, the Pope heads to Chiapas. That's Mexico's poorest state. He will celebrate Mass there with indigenous people. He then ends his trip in Juarez, that notorious border town, where he will visit a prison. Alex and John, over to you.
Okay, David, thank you. And more news now, 6:13. More than 140 firefighters are called in to battle a 3-alarm apartment fire Sunday night.
The Brooklyn building went up in flames around 10 o'clock. The New York Fire Department tweeted out these photos of the scene. WABC reports the fire ripped through the rows of buildings before crews got it under control. Happened around 12:30. So far, no reports of any injuries.
Well, dozens of vehicles are involved in a massive Indiana highway fender bender. Reports of the pileup on I-65 near Lebanon came in around 2 p.m. Sunday when it was snowing heavily in the area. Police say several people were hurt, but the worst injury was a broken leg. Crews had to close the interstate during the investigation.
Dozens of skiers in New Hampshire trapped on a tram 40 feet in the air. They're safely back on the ground this morning. Rescue crews worked throughout the day helping people to safety after the two cars got stuck on Cannon Mountain's aerial tramway Sunday afternoon. Officials say a service brake problem stopped the motors from working. No one was hurt. Very cold up there, as you can imagine, as well. Whole Northeast, right, got hammered.
Yeah, parts of upstate New York, 40 below. Oof.
That's so cold. Air temperature, not wind chill.
Yes, exactly. And there were wind chills that were close to 50 below in some parts of those areas. That's why they had wind chill advisories, wind chill warnings most of the weekend. Now they're dealing with snow on top of that. We had a little bit of snow earlier this morning, so if the kids have school, here you go, for most of next week. So if you want to stay up to date with the latest conditions from the Weather Now Storm Team, our hourly planner, our video forecast, the 7-day forecast, you can get it all any time of the day for free by getting the KETV Weather Now app. And guys, you want to look at those temperatures as they approach 60 by the end of the week. It just makes you feel good, doesn't it?
It does. It's a silver lining after all of the weather we've had in the last couple weeks.
Exactly. Getting the snow out of here, too.
Exactly. All right, Matt, thanks.
6:18, a local music student gets a chance to shine at the Grammys.
Plus, Volkswagen senior staff were reportedly warned that regulators were looking into cheating software. That's at 6:22.
Later, time to get your home organized all week. We are offering tips. And one Utah teen made sure every girl at his high school was not left out on Valentine's.
Welcome back to First News, 6:21 on this President's Day, Monday, February 15th. Taking a live look at Interstate 480 from our 27th and Douglas Tower Cam. Weather and traffic to go together just a few minutes away. Alex and John.
Well, turning this morning, it is music's biggest night.
The 58th Grammy Awards will honor this year's music leaders, and one local high school student will be there. KETV News Watch 7 caught up with Kara Walton in December.
If a shooting star goes by, I'll use that star to write I love you.
Now, Kara, just 17 years old from Papillion La Vista High School, selected as one of 32 musicians to participate in the Grammys Camp Jazz Session.
Yeah, they spent the weekend event. They recorded a jazz album. She'll perform at the Grammys after party. The award show starts tonight at 7 p.m.
A beautiful voice. Well, now the First News Business Watch. Deadpool makes the weekend box office come alive.
ABC's Candace Gibson and Rena Ninen update us from New York.
Good morning. Topic America's Money. Fears of another recession.
That's America's Money.
Have a great day.
Markets are closed today, but they will open up tomorrow up 313. NASDAQ up 70. S&P 500 gaining 35.
America's Money. Brought to you by Activia.
6:24. Matt's back with your Weather Now forecast.
Really not a lot of snow in the metro overnight. Some parts of Western New could see up to an inch, or could have seen, I should say, up to an inch of snow through the overnight hours. But let's get the hourly planner in here. We'll send it over to Lauren Robinson.
Thanks, Matt. Wet roads out there this morning as we begin our work week. Now, let's look outside to see what we're dealing with. This is slippery conditions as well as repair crews in that area. That's your traffic to go. I'm Lauren Robinson.
Lauren, thanks. At 6:26, here are 3 stories happening right now.
A makeshift clinic supported by Doctors Without Borders targeted and destroyed by Russian warplanes. New information coming in. An update from the breaking news desk after 6:30.
A Valentine's Day catch. Australian authorities wrangled in a giant tiger shark off the Gold Coast over the weekend. You can see them dragging the shark onto the boat, not very far from surfers.
And Australian police had a catch of their own. Officers seized close to $700,000 worth of a drug brought in from Hong Kong. Police said the drug known as ice was smuggled, and silicone bra inserts and art supplies. This is KTV News Watch 7 First News.
Good morning and happy Monday. We're looking outside at Interstate 680 and Maple from the Nebraska Department of Roads. We are still seeing some wet conditions out there, so be safe as you head out for your commute. That's a look at your traffic. Another look is just ahead.
Well, First News headlines. A family tries to move on after a tragic weekend leaves 2 brothers dead. We hear from loved ones next.
Today, we remember an Omaha leader known for her strength in the face of oppression. Dr. Margarita Washington passed away this weekend.
A Russian airstrike in Syria hits a makeshift hospital for kids. Activists right now are scrambling to find survivors in the rubble. We've got the first image from the scene.
Live From 7 Burlington Station, this is Omaha's news leader, KETV News Watch 7 First News.
And good morning at 6:30 on Monday, February 15th. I'm Alex Hoffman.
I'm John Okie. Matt Surrey here with your Weather Now forecast.
Done with snow, but enough to leave its mark early this morning in parts of the viewing area. Take a look at Super Doppler 7 radar. Very little around the Omaha Metro. Details in my full forecast. Alex and John?
Well, a good deed ends in tragedy. 2 brothers shot to death while helping their sister move out of a home near 140th in Miami.
It turned into a 12-hour-long standoff where the woman was able to safely escape, but 45-year-old Kenneth Clark killed John and Jason Edwards before pulling the trigger on himself. KETV News Watch 7's Devontae McKenneth is live with more. Devontae?
Alex, it really is a sad story, and emotions running high over the weekend as family and friends try to make sense of why the home where the murders took place now boarded up this Monday. Most recently at the home, a prayer walk to honor the 2 men, also a chance for family and friends to find peace. They're still asking why someone had to die like this and why it had to come down to violence. The 2 men were husbands and fathers, many saying they were the perfect example of fun-loving gentlemen who put family first.
They were just really good people, good guys.
Well, it's hard to right now.
I mean, evidenced by the fact that they came here to help their sister out of a horrible situation.
He's the epitome of a good family man. Like, just the time that you could tell and how much he cared about his daughters and everything. It's what you strive to be as a family man.
Funerals and visitations are set to begin tomorrow at St. Columkill Catholic Church over in Papillion. A burial mass is set for Wednesday. John?
All right, Devontae, thank you. Well, investigators tell us that this could have started with domestic trouble, and we are hearing from a group that supports domestic violence survivors. Staff at Women's Center for Advancement say that if you are in an abusive relationship, one of the first things that you should do is talk with an expert. You can always call the WCA hotline at 402-345-7273 or just walk in without an appointment anytime during office hours, Monday through Friday. Well, gunfire injures 1 person overnight. They walked into the emergency room at Nebraska Medicine around 3 o'clock this morning. Dispatchers tell us police are still checking out several scenes where the victim may have been shot, but have not identified the actual location. The victim's condition has not been released, and there's no word of any arrests.
Well, breaking on the World Watch this morning, a makeshift hospital in Syria hit by Russian warplanes. KETV News Watch 7's David Earl joins us on the breaking news desk. David, this was a children's hospital?
Yeah, John, it was a hospital that had a partnership as well with Doctors Without Borders. Syrian opposition activists say at least 10 people are dead right now, but there's no official confirmation of that yet. This is happening in northern Syria, where government troops have been on the offensive. This is the first image here from the scene near the Turkish border. You can see the building destroyed there. Activists say a ballistic missile struck the hospital. According to those activists, 3 children and a pregnant woman, excuse me, are among the dead. The strike wounded more than 30 other people. Russian airstrikes have been happening in that area since the 1st of February. There's no statement from the Russian military yet. U.S. forces are also working to confirm the reports from activists on the ground. John, back to you.
All right, David, thank you. Well, a major battle brews in Washington, D.C. following the death of Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. His body being flown to Virginia this morning after being discovered at a West Texas resort ranch over the weekend. He died of natural causes. An hour after Scalia's death was confirmed, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said the vacancy should be filled by the new president. But President Obama made it clear he is ready to move.
I plan to fulfill my constitutional responsibilities to nominate a successor in due time.
Candidates on the campaign trail also speaking up. Republicans backed Senator McConnell at Saturday's debate, and Ted Cruz announced he would filibuster the president's decision. Right now, the court split 4-4. It's scheduled to address major issues, including abortion and unions.
Well, a key figure in Omaha's civil rights movement and a voice of our community for decades has died. This video from last year when we spoke with Dr. Margarita Washington after a screening of the movie Selma. Washington took over the Omaha Star newspaper as publisher in 1989. After her aunt, who founded the paper in 1938, died. Dr. Washington earned multiple advanced degrees in sociology, elementary education, and administration. And just 2 months ago, December 1st, City Councilman President Ben Gray declared it Dr. Margarita Washington Day. Washington was 80 years old. Funeral services are pending. In Commitment 2016 coverage, the Nebraska caucuses are approaching, and Chelsea Clinton is coming to Omaha to campaign for her mother, Hillary Clinton. Chelsea will speak this Wednesday in West Omaha at the Four Sisters Boutique, happening at 4 p.m. Clinton is expected to talk about the election and how to support her mother.
It is President's Day. Some kids get to sleep in. Don't plan on getting an email. Most banks also close, along with all courts. And in recognition of the federal holiday, Nebraska Governor Pete Ricketts releasing a statement saying, quote, "The work and dedication of these presidents, the principles of freedom and equality have shaped the direction of our country's history and is key to understanding who we are as Americans today." Time now for your weather. Here's Matt Surwey.
Well, John, maybe it's a good thing maybe a lot of people aren't hitting. As we start the week with traffic to go, we send it over to Lauren Robinson.
Good morning. We are seeing some slippery roads out there, so especially further east. Let's take a look outside in Iowa. Now, this is Interstate 80 at the Missouri and I-80. That's your traffic to go. I'm Lauren Robinson.
Well, too soon to start spring cleaning? Think again.
Especially in our crazy busy lives, it is easy to feel cluttered and chaotic. 7 can help. KETV News Watch 7's Melissa Fry begins our series on how you can get organized.
Let's face it, no matter how hard we try to be like KETV News Watch 7.
Ours is our mail. It's one of our problem piles, so hopefully that's one of the organization tips we get. Well, 6:40 now. If likes on Facebook determined our next president, we have an idea of who would win the election.
That's coming up. Plus, one Utah teen's Valentine's Day action that's winning over lots of hearts.
You're watching Omaha's news leader, KETV News Watch 7, with John Okie, Alex Hoffman, David Earl, your Weather Now forecast with meteorologist Matt Surwey, and traffic to go with Lauren Robinson, live from 7 Burlington Station. This is KETV News Watch 7 First News.
Lottery numbers. One ticket had all the numbers. And last Friday night, $66,000. Nebraska picked 5 drawing. That ticket sold at Wahoo at the Sun Mart on North Chestnut Street. Winning numbers 1, 3, 8, 23, 28.
No ticket matched Saturday's numbers, so tonight's jackpot is worth $54,000. No big winner in last Friday's Mega Millions drawing. Tuesday night's jackpot is worth an estimated $94 million. And no one picked all the numbers for Saturday night's Powerball, so Wednesday night's drawing worth an estimated $189 million.
Welcome back to KETV News Watch 7 First News at 6:44. Great look this morning. Live look outside on the Bob Carey pedestrian bridge.
Beautiful.
Yeah, look at the sky out there. Going to be a nice day. Mass forecast coming up. Okay, look what's trending this morning. So we know what the polls say, but who is leading the presidential race on social media?
Yeah, a new study looks at the Facebook likes to see who's on top. The data shown on this interactive map based on the number of likes on verified candidates' Facebook pages. Now, if these likes were votes, Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump would lead the pack. But this sample may be a bit skewed because only 58% of American adults use Facebook, and most of them are young, low income, and female. Well, Kanye West dropped a new album over the weekend, and with it, a bombshell.
Yeah, the rapper says he is $53 million in debt. West tweeted that news to his followers hours before performing on Saturday Night Live, saying, "Please pray we overcome. This is my true heart." It's not clear whether or not he was actually serious. Twitterverse, though, of course, is skeptical.
Right.
Well, for about 800 girls in northern Utah, this Valentine's Day, one they probably will not forget.
It's all thanks to a very generous classmate.
I brought it home, and my mom's like, "Who gave you that?" Hayden.
Yep, there's Hayden Godfrey. He says he just wanted to make as many people happy as possible on Valentine's Day. The high school senior bought 800 flowers, one for each girl at Skyview High School.
Yeah, Godfrey ordered the flowers himself, passed them out to help with some friends. He spent nearly $500 to pull that off.
What a sweetie.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is. Well, next in News to Go, if that story didn't warm your heart, this week's forecast sure will. We'll check in with Matt in about 3 minutes.
Good morning, America. Coming up, here's a look what's ahead.
Good morning. Coming up on GMA, the passing of...
Welcome back to KETV News Watch 7 First News at 6:49. Live look at the Central Link Center from the Bob Carey pedestrian bridge this morning. Matt is back. We had a little light snow this morning, but nothing too big.
No, nothing too big, but there could be some slick spots early this morning. Just keep that in mind as you head out there. Take a look at temperatures as you set foot outside. You must stick around for the full 7-day forecast in a few minutes.
Now, traffic to go with Skycams powered by Chevy.
Good morning. We're looking at the West Dodge Expressway from the top of the TD Ameritrade. That's your traffic to go. I'm Lauren Robinson.
Lauren, thanks. News to Go headlines at 6:51. So trying to keep their sister safe, John Edwards died on his 35th birthday Friday.
He and his brother Jason were helping their sister move out of an ex-boyfriend's home, but they never made it out alive.
45-year-old Kenneth Clark shot them both in a 12-hour-long standoff. He later took his own life. KETV News Watch 7's Devontae McKenneth is live. Devontae.
And John, family and friends say it's an eerie feeling this morning as the home where 2 lives were taken Friday is now boarded up. A man taking out his own rage after 2 brothers tried to help their sister escape. Yesterday, friends and family gathered for a prayer walk looking for peace within each other. Many say the 2 men were outstanding role models, good parents and good community members. Some even say Jason and John didn't have to die like this, adding anger prevails when news like this breaks. Funerals and visitations are set to begin tomorrow at St. Columkill Catholic Church in Papillion. Back to you.
All right, Devontae, thanks. New this morning, a person injured by gunfire walks into the emergency room at Nebraska Med.
Dispatchers confirm it happened shortly before 3 o'clock. At last check, police were still checking out several scenes where that victim may have been shot but have not identified the location. It's unknown how the victim is doing now. Well, right now, police need your help finding a teen accused of driving drunk and then hitting and killing a woman in a crash. Investigators say Eswin Mejia posted bond and then vanished.
21-year-old Sarah Root died the morning of January 31st. Part of bond, Mejia is supposed to enroll in a sobriety program, but investigators say he never did. Call Crime Stoppers if you know anything that could help police find him. Well, this President's Day, a former president hits the campaign trail for his brother.
George H.W. Bush makes an appearance for the first time in the 2016 race at a rally today in South Carolina. KETV News Watch 7's David Earl has this Commitment 2016 update. David?
Well, Alex, that rally for Jeb Bush is an effort to save his sputtering presidential campaign. Jeb's brother, George W., still incredibly popular among Republicans, especially in South Carolina. The former Florida governor says there is no one better to vouch for his readiness to be commander-in-chief. Jeb Bush is hoping to gain more momentum in South Carolina after a 4th-place finish in New Hampshire. He still has a ton of cash on hand to spend on advertising. Donald Trump still way ahead in South Carolina. He's hovering around 40%. Trump's nearest competitor there is Ted Cruz. He's at less than 20%. Guys, back to you.
All right, David, thank you. Well, Pope Francis will hold Mass today in the least Catholic state of Mexico.
His goal, to boost the faith in the Chiapas state. It's the Pope's latest stop on a 5-day tour. He's urging Mexicans to make the country into a land of opportunity while speaking out against the drug trade and associated violence. President Obama says he will name a Supreme Court justice nominee after the Senate break.
Justice Antonin Scalia passed away over the weekend. His decision comes as Republicans vow to delay or even outright block the nominee. Right now, the U.S. Senate is in recess until February 22nd.
Okay, so the Grammys are tonight, and one local girl will be there.
It's one of the stories we're following on KETV.com. Kara Walton from Papillion La Vista High School was selected as one of 32 musicians to participate in the Grammys Camp Jazz Session. They spent the weekend at events recording a jazz album, and tonight, Kara and the others will be special guests at the Grammy Awards and then perform at the Grammys after party.
The kids from Silver Lake School in Roseland, Nebraska, taking over parts of Children's Hospital and Medical Center. They're delivering 250 pillow pets to kids. The stuffed pillow pets also come with a note of encouragement from the students to the pediatric patients.
Download the KETV mobile app for the latest headlines and local breaking news anytime. You can also follow us on Facebook or at KETV on Twitter. Well, today at 5, someone or maybe something to help with dinner.
Someone Help looks at the possibility of a robot to do the work. Melissa Fry has a preview.
Good morning. Space-age ideas.
Now, weather and traffic to go together. Here's Lauren Robinson.
We're taking a look outside at I-680 in Maple. It looks like traffic is moving slowly there in that area.
Lauren, thanks. Matt, going to see some 40s?
Later today.
Yeah.
Eventually, especially from the metro off to the south. Here's the 7-day forecast, and this is a real doozy. 40s through the first half of this week. Remember, early this morning, a little upper 50s and low 60s are likely across most of the area.
That's golfing weather.
So,
That's where I got a plan.
Nice. Yeah, I already got my tee times.
Dusting off the clubs. All right, Matt, thanks. Well, finally, Hong Kong shows its romantic side this weekend.
Yeah, South Korean creative agency planted 25,000 LED roses along the waterfront. The company Pancom says the pure white roses light up love hovering in the dark.
Oh, right.
Spreading seeds of love everywhere.
Yeah, the exhibition runs through February 22nd. That's actually quite beautiful,
That's pretty cool.
So much love.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that.
Maybe we take First News on the road
to
Hong Kong.
Let's do it.
I'll pack.
That's KETV News Watch 7 First News.
GMA is next. We're back at 7:24.
Stay connected with Omaha's news leader on KETV.com and KETV Mobile.